These are my requirements for a husband since y'all want to bother my dad so much about my hand in marriage. Okay, first, I'm gonna want my own room, my own bathroom, and a walk-in closet in the house because I did grow up a little bit spoiled, so I don't really like to share. Like, you're gonna be my husband though, so we can have like sleepovers, but yeah. You'd need to have enough money for help around the house because I'm not a good cook. The most I do is bake. Um, Also, I would want help with like cleaning and stuff. And if children are in the equation, help with that because I will be working. I would also want an educated man, so bachelor's, master's, doctorate, or if that's not your route, like ambitious, have a couple businesses, stuff like that. Next on the list is you're gonna have to be taller than me, so 6 foot at least. Funny because, I like to crack a joke, so you gotta be able to, banter and like take a joke. I honestly don't really care to get married, but if like it happens and he meets the requirements, then yeah. Let me know if you guys want a part two.
So she actually did do a part two, and we gonna review the part two. But have y'all ever seen that test? It's like something that they do online, and I've seen guys walking around actually asking women what it is that they were looking for from men, and they have a whole bunch of requirements, and they put in whatever their preferences are, and then it spits out a percentage of men that are available and the possibility of them getting married based off of whatever criteria that they put in, and it's like astronomically low, like a less than 1% chance from them to actually find a person that they have on their list of preferences. And one of the things that we see online a lot of times in the comments and from women is that they are not willing to settle. And it doesn't matter if they beautiful, it doesn't matter if they not beautiful, kids, no kids, or whatever. The new themes are decenter men, meaning that they don't really care what men think anymore. And the second thing is they are unwilling to settle and they raise their standards regardless of what their past history is. It don't matter if they was for the streets or if they're a virgin. It don't matter if they're a single mother or if they don't have any kids. They continue to raise their standards as they get older, and it's almost though they don't understand the sexual marketplace. Now, I will say for this girl right here, she looks really pretty. And I mean, I know that she may not be for some of y'all, but objectively speaking, just to be, transparent so that we can have this conversation in honesty and go over exactly what her preferences are and what she's looking for from men, she looks really pretty in my opinion. I have a preference for chocolate. Not saying that I'm interested in her, because Tom Dog is already doing whatever it is that he's doing. But chocolate, well spoken, decent looking, look pretty slim, probably has a decent body, and seems to be well educated. However, I could just tell you right from the outset that the criteria that she has seems to be a little bit on the egregious side, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know why women say that you have to be educated, for example, master's, bachelor's, doctorate, or whatever, but they don't specify exactly what you need to be educated in because anybody could get educated. Anybody can have an underwater basket weaving degree. Anybody can have a liberal arts degree. Anybody can have an arts degree. Anybody can be have a degree in African American studies. What a you know what I'm saying a focus in diversity, equity, and inclusion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you having a degree does not necessarily mean that that translates into success. Secondly, all of this criteria about she don't cook, she could bake a little bit, she's not interested. If she has kids, you basically have to hire a nanny. Might as well not even deal with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody is putting a criteria for love. Nobody is saying that, yo, I gotta like you. You have to be spiritual. I like for you to be a good person, great work ethic, because nobody wants to build with anybody anymore. Everybody wants to meet you at the finish line, but the things that you're requiring doesn't necessarily translate into you having an ideal person because that person can be an asshole. They can have a bad attitude. They could, at some point be kicking your ass. She didn't say whether or not they had to have kids or not, or what their family structure is, and all of that stuff. So the things that women are listing and naming are all superficial, which is fleeting, right? Because if you don't have the other things that go with it that allows for you to really be able to enjoy it with the person that you're with, you having a bunch of stuff don't mean anything. It's not going to translate into a successful relationship or a successful marriage. But before we continue this conversation, she did have a part two. Now, I didn't see the part two yet. I seen part one, but here's part two. let's talk about it.
This is part two of my requirements for a husband, so I can weed out all the people asking my dad for my hand in marriage. You will have to pay my bride price, even if I marry outside of my culture. I feel like that's just like a testament to showing my family that you can actually take care of me.
Never, ever. I know that it's a lot of guys that's okay with spending money and paying a bride price. Who the hell even knows what this price is? Never, ever. I just gotta like you and I gotta be willing to build with you. At this age, as an older man, I don't even, this is not even relevant to me at all. As a younger man, especially probably somebody that's more her age, absolutely not. Basically, she's telling you that she wants an older guy that is already established and has lived life and has built himself up and built businesses. They are not interested in building with the young guys that ultimately is probably going to be best for them and turn out to be successful also. Never, under any circumstances. Yeah, Anton, that used to be back in the, no, that used to be back in the day in a certain place. This is America. That's not what I do here. That's not what we do here. No bride prices, but she's weeding through it. It's okay for you to have preferences. So let's see what else you got to say.
You can never raise your voice or curse at me. I will leave immediately. I'm absolutely keeping my last name, and I don't want my whole family to have the same last name. So you'd have to take my last name. And
Yo, we might as well just say that all of these women are unreasonable, and any simp that decides to put himself in this position is absolutely out of his mind.
I'd be
You got
naming
to take her last name.
it as well. I don't know if you guys know
She
anything
talk-
about African weddings, but that's going to be like a 3-part affair.
Oh, she
At least 2 vacations a year. I would like someone well traveled, and like traveling is a hobby of mine, and I'm trying to hit every single country in the world, so I'd want someone that shares that same interest. Someone that speaks at least 3 languages, because I speak 3 languages, and I'd want our kids to speak 3 languages, so the teaching starts at home. These are all things that I can provide for myself or will be able to provide for myself. So if I do let a man into my life, he's going to have to upgrade me. Okay? Let me know if you guys want a part 3.
Nah. All right. So again, I think that see the first one was just like, yo, this is a little bit egregious. This one is just out of control. Nah, never. Under no circumstance. I don't know any guy personally. I know a lot of guys that are well spoken, well traveled, make a whole lot of money and have a whole lot of options and don't even care to get married or care to be tied down or care what you think about them in the first place. I know a lot of guys from a lot of different cultures and a lot of different places inside of the United States of America, and none of them, and I mean absolutely none of them, would ever subject themselves to this in the first place. The very idea that their kids have to take on your name and he'd be willing to switch over his name to be yours, it's almost like I'm not sure if she's serious or if she's trolling. If she's serious, I hate to say this, but I think that she probably gonna be by herself for the rest of her life. And if she's okay with that, and if she's cool with that, which it seems like she is cool with that, then cool. No African weddings, and all we in the United States of America. We don't acquiesce over into what it is that you do. Basically, you just got to be a super simp and a super beta, and be willing to give away all your stuff. But I haven't heard or seen or listened to her describe anything that she would give in return that would actually validate this man justifiably, as awesome as he is, be willing to jump through the mire to be a part of her life. It just doesn't make sense to me. But y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. And the best day to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.